Okay, hey guys, so I wanted to make kind of like a more serious topic like video. Something I've never really talked about to almost a lot of people. I don't actually recall if I ever made a video like this, but I suffer from short-term memory loss because of an accident I was in years back, and it cracked my skull, and because of that I suffer from short-term memory loss. So if I posted a video about this already, I apologize in advance. But so it's basically talking about mental health. And the reason I'm talking about this topic now is because I got a phone call not long ago from the mental health here where I'm from, telling me that I got approved to come back because I went there before I moved. And it's kind of sad because I never took it serious. Like, at all. I never took mental health / day treatments very serious. I never took it serious at all. I just thought it was an adult daycare facility. That was my inside joke with some people there. I had a therapist I would see weekly, if not daily. We would talk about mental health. There have been times where we would just go on and talk about it. We would even journal sometimes. But basically for me and my mental health, it's kind of hard to talk about because for years I've basically been treated like nothing was wrong with me, and nobody would take me serious when I told them I was disabled, because they'd be like, you don't look disabled, you look fine, you act fine, you seem normal, you act normal. And that's because I am a pretty damn good actress, and I have hidden my mental health and my disability pretty fucking well. So, to begin with, I have depression, I have anxiety, I have social anxiety, I have abandonment issues, I have anger issues. I discovered in the beginning of, I believe, February or January that I had split personality disorder, which I was not aware of. I have Tourette's. Split personality, which I already said that. I was meaning to say, what's the word I was looking for? Short-term memory loss. I'm just so ramped up right now because like I said, I got accepted to come back, and they're gonna roll me into the program on the 23rd of this month. So it's like, like, oh my god. And I wasn't even aware today was the 20th. Like, holy shit. Oh my god. Okay, wow. So that's cool. But I have all of that. I have crippling depression. And with my split personality disorder, like, they pointed it out. For me, specifically, I have only 2 personalities, and that's depression and anger. Like, me now, this is just normally me, but like they said, I have only 2 personalities, and that's anger and depression. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess after they just, like, told me about it and described it to me, and I got to know more about it, it kind of made a lot of sense. Because my anger side would come out a lot more. than my depression side. And I have made so many enemies. I have lost so many friends. And it's like, I wish I could take it all back. But I can't. They won't listen to me. They refuse to listen to me. They refuse to talk to me. They refuse to believe anything is not wrong with me. And they refuse to think I will never change. And it hurts. It really does hurt when I am told that, and when they dangle my past in my face and they hang on to my past for years. And it's like, I don't know. It just sucks. Now with my Tourette's, I think I might have gotten this from my mom. I need to talk to a family member about this, honestly, because she is the only one I go to when it comes to... Well, this is gonna sound so bizarre, but I go to one of my family members to learn a lot more about myself. Because I'm gonna tell you, I have discovered quite a bit of dark secrets about my family and myself that I was not even aware of. And I'm still learning everything still. But I go to her most of the time to learn about myself or some history in the family. So I need to go to her. But my mom, when she was alive, she would have these... I see. It's like it's coming. I feel like coming up. It wants to come out. Like every time I talk about it, or if I see something, if I see somebody else that has Tourette's, or if I watch it on a show, it triggers it. It makes me want to do it. But for my mom, she had these gasps. Like, if you get really shocked or surprised, you gasp really loud. And it kind of affected me, where it started with me doing that. And this was when I was a little girl, it started up. And then after I got older, when I got with my first ex-husband, I noticed a change. And I would start yipping. Like, you know how a fox makes those little yipping sounds when they're excited? I do the same exact thing. And then later on, after we split up, I I laugh at myself because of this. I started... I'm sorry. I laugh. I apologize, but I laugh at myself because of this, because I start hooting like an owl. I know a lot of people that have Tourette's who would not laugh at their own, like, their own thing. But for me, I laugh at it. Fuck, even a lot of other people will laugh because they think it's funny, but when really, for somebody that has Tourette's, they shouldn't be laughing because they could trigger them or upset them. But for me, I laugh at it. Like, if you're laughing, then I'm laughing because that shit is actually kind of funny. But I will start sounding like an owl just randomly. Or I'll sound like a fox, or I'll gasp and scare somebody right next to me and thinking something happened. And like, I had an ex-friend of mine, we were really close. We were like so close that every time I yipped or hooted, he made up this thing where whenever I did that and he was talking and he was like staying a point or venting or ranting to me, my Tourette's would set off, and he's like, yeah, exactly, that's what I mean, I agree with you. It's like, I hate it so much, but I love it. Because it also would brighten his day, and I would get a good laugh out of it. We both would. And now my boyfriend recently, every time, I'm sorry, it's coming out, like, it wants to come out so bad. Whenever I have a moment, he would do the same thing, or he will just join in and just kind of like playfully mock me, which is totally fine with me because it's funny. We both think it's funny. But when I went to mental health, I never had that problem. And so going back now, it's gonna kind of make me a little nervous. So I definitely do plan to tell the staff members and a few of my friends that go about it, just in case. Because I don't want to be sitting there while they're having, like, discussing something, and all of a sudden I start gasping or hooting or yitting and be told to be quiet. I don't want to go through that. Um, but yeah. Um, I'm sorry if I keep pausing. It's just, it really wants to come out, and it's like, it's hard to control it because it's starting to get to the point where I'm doing it in public now, and it makes me so embarrassed. Like, but I can't help it. So, I don't know. It just, for a long time, I've been embarrassed of my disabilities. Also, I forgot to mention, I have fetal alcoholic syndrome. And for the people that don't know about it, it's basically a very slight case of autism, where, you have smaller eyes, you have smaller ears, you have a flatter nasal passage. Um, Either your eyes are a little bit closer together or far apart a little bit. I can't remember. You have smaller lips. There's other things, but I can't remember, honestly. But yeah, so that's basically it. That's all I got. Um, Besides PCOS and IBS, but I really don't feel comfortable getting into those two topics. Um, but yeah. Um, I feel that, like, oh yeah, I almost forgot. Um, I have ADHD and ADD as well. Possibly maybe OCD because of how I am. I don't know. I kind of became a clean freak because a lot of my exes in the past, and now it's like even any kind of mess or an unmade bed will freak me out, and I refuse to lay or sit in a bed without it being made. I can't do it. Um, but for a long time, I have been told that I don't have any kind of illnesses. I don't have any kind of mental disorders. Like, fucking people could, like, I've had people tell me I don't have this or I don't have that, and you don't have this, and it's like, it's all in your head without them even knowing me that well. I mean, I had people that known me since we were kids, and yet now they're saying, oh, I don't have this and I don't have that. I know you so well. No, you don't. You really don't. Nobody knows me that well anymore because of how much I've changed. It is so unlikely to know a person if you have not seen them in years, because a person can change right away. So it's impossible for somebody to know somebody like that. Yeah, I've had a recent ex of mine and his ex-girlfriend both tell me there was nothing wrong with me, and I was just making up my mental disorders up because I was lazy and I didn't want to work because I was lazy, and I can't work. I, honest to God, cannot work. Not because of my social anxiety, but because I have a learning disability. And I've always had a learning disability, but I've told everybody that I've met in my life, even past relationships, that I've gotten a learning disability from my crush, just so I wouldn't have to sound stupid or look stupid. That is seriously how embarrassed of myself I was. And I'm still slightly embarrassed because of it, but that was because of my ex basically beating the shit into my head that there's nothing wrong with me. I mean, he doesn't even know what's wrong with me. He doesn't know. I refused to tell him because I was scared to death he would judge me and go and tell his ex about it. That's how scared I was. And now it's like I'm going back to mental health, and I feel if I told my story, that literally would not only empower others, but it would make me learn a whole lot more about myself and what I have, instead of me not taking it serious or hiding in the back and doing whatever. So, I honestly feel like a big load has been released, and I feel I can actually breathe a little bit now because I got that literally all out there. It's completely out there now, and I feel like I am less ashamed of myself now. So yeah, so that's it for this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys later.